Hello. So we did it together.
Kinda, yeah, a little bit.
Um, Welcome to our.
Skedaddle podcast.
We did not plan to complete our sentences.
No, we
This
are,
is a pilot.
yeah, pilot episode. Uh, didn't have a script or anything,
Just freestyling.
but yeah,
You can call me Chris with K
and you can call me John.
with J.
Yes, with the J.
Um,
Uh, but yeah,
do you
we
want
are.
do you want to tell them why we're calling the podcast this?
Oh yeah, so if you can't tell, we are friends, and we work at the same place. And every time we need to leave, we check with each other to see if we're ready to skedaddle.
Yeah. So, and then we really been wanting to start a podcast, and then we thought about names for a while. After eliminating a lot of nerdy names,
Mm.
then we like, you know what? We skedaddle all the time. Let's just call this a skedaddle. And we literally are a skedaddle. A
We will
skedaddle.
skedaddle after we're done with this
This,
episode.
yes.
So just bear with us.
Yeah. Okay. So what should we talk about today?
What was I going to talk about before we started this?
You said you're gonna ask me what's on my mind, or
Yeah, but there was something I was going to say, and you're like, no, no, save it for the
oh yeah,
podcast.
yeah, yeah. What was
But
that?
I don't remember what it was. So that's what we need to write down some
Yeah, yeah,
notes.
like just have like an idea list.
Mm-hmm.
So today is the first day of the spring. It's pretty nice out there. Hopefully, when you're listening to this, it's nice out there, here,
Here, wherever you are in the
wherever you
country.
are. The world. This gonna get big. You're gonna be like, no.
I'm like, no.
Okay.
Uh, well, there was something that I found interesting. I mean, I can talk about the TV show that I'm watching,
What are you watching?
White Lotus, the new season.
Okay. Is that
But
the resort one?
mhm,
Okay.
but it's not as good as so. This season is not as good as the other two, but it just kind of picked up in the last episode. Like it kind of went more in the direction that the
It
other.
picked up in the last
No,
episode?
no, it's not the last episode
Oh,
that came out.
okay, okay. I was like, that's not
No,
picking
no,
it up.
no. I think it's on episode 5 right now.
Okay.
But it finally kind of picked up. Okay, so there's some interesting things going on. There's a lot more like of the drama and
Mm-hmm.
the like kind of like what do you call it, like things that you wouldn't believe that happen in real life, like, oh, people are doing this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Kind of thing. So it finally got to that point, and like I'm really excited for the next episode. But the thing that was the most weird, it was these two friends were talking. For one, this guy is like super, I don't know, like it's one of the guys that looks super angry all the time. Like they just,
Grumpy, like
yeah, grumpy, like they don't want to do anything, and like
mm-hmm.
someone offers them help, they're like, I don't need your help,
Right, right, right.
all these things. And like he has this girlfriend that she's like super happy and everything. Like, no, you need to like open up yourself and let me
Mm-hmm.
help you. And then there's sort they have this doctor that is kind of like a psychologist, I guess, or like helps you meditate and come to terms with your inner demons, kind of thing.
Okay.
But this guy finally went. He doesn't have his dad or mom. Like he tells the backstory how he grew up and like he has no life, no ties or anything. Like he's been like basically left alone from the very beginning.
Okay.
So there's like, he's like, I don't have.
That's why he's pissed.
Yeah, that's what he says. Like he's pissed, right? That's what he said in the session with the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And then somehow, I guess the guy that killed his dad is in Thailand, in Bangkok, and he wants to go there to like meet this guy.
How did he know he's
I
dead?
don't know. That's the
Okay.
thing. Like they haven't explained any of this before. It's just like,
Oh, just gonna dump
all
it.
these characters are there, and like yeah, you just kind of like you kind of find out
So
as you
the
start.
this season is happening in Thailand.
Yes,
Okay. And it
at the
is.
White Lotus Resort.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Mm.
told me it's actually the thing. Okay. So you're watching it as it's releasing?
Hmm.
That's
Well, yeah,
Dedication.
because that's how it's been released. Yeah. Uh, and then like somehow he finds this out and he contacts his friend who somehow is also in Thailand, I guess, to like go give him a package, which I'm assuming is a gun or something to kill the guy that he's trying to meet.
Mm-hmm.
But then this guy starts telling him the stories like he notices that he doesn't order like alcohol to drink at the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh no, I want jasmine tea. And he's like, tea?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, I don't drink anymore.
Okay.
And he's like, okay. And then he starts saying so like, yeah, like I'm a Buddhist now. And he's wearing like the beads and everything, right? And then he's like, so what happened? Like, oh, I came here, I was going crazy off the rails, doing all kinds of things.
Who
Like
is this?
it's a
Kim?
no, the guy that is all grumpy has contacted his friend that he knew from a long time ago, I guess, to give him something. And so they didn't show exact. I mean, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but he just handed him a black bag under the
Okay.
table,
Okay.
and he's like, "Hope you don't use it." And he's like, "Oh,
Gun? It's a
I think it's a gun
Yeah.
or something." And he's like, "Well, no, I hope I do." And then they start like, I think it's a gun. I mean, uh,
It's a condom.
a condom. No, no. It does get to the part, no, but the guy's like, yeah, I was here. I came here because I was always obsessed with Asian girls. And he's like, yeah, so like that's what I did. Like every night I will pick up one, two, sometimes multiple, and just you know do my thing with them every night and drugs. He's like, and then sometimes you can pick up like what's he saying? Like lady boys.
Yeah, it's
Right.
It's Thailand
Yeah,
famous for that.
yeah, not that it hasn't happened before,
Bangkok, yeah.
but like one time I picked one up and I was the one on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, and then I realized that
So
I
picking up a lady with penis made him go sober?
no, but this he's doing all the story, right? It gets worse than this. And he's like, yeah, so I think I just kind of
Is he
realized that
pregnant?
no.
Okay.
He's like, I think I wanted to be like myself or something like that. Like he's like basically I wanted to feel what it will feel like to be F by myself if I was somebody else. So from that experience, he's like,
Excuse me? I am so confused.
so from this experience that he got, by the lady boy, he said, then I put up an ad that I will dress up as an Asian girl and I wanted to be, done by someone that was kind of like me. So a white guy around this age with this build.
Okay.
And then somebody picked it up. Yeah, so this guy actually looked a lot like me, and I just dressed up as a girl. He thought I would look pretty hot, and then he came and did his thing. And then that continued on.
This is gonna get to the part that he's started to be sober.
I don't know. Because, and then
It sounds so good.
and then the friend was like,
Okay. That was a lot of.
and then he continued like, oh yeah, like, and then it became like a thing.
So
Like,
he's
and then I had multiple people, and then I had some of them I had to pay, some of them they paid me, and it just kept going. And then sometimes I will hire an actual girl
so
to
it
just
was
watch the whole thing, and I will stare into her eyes, and I would imagine that I was her, and the other guy was me, and I was doing.
Why are you just making this so deep? It's just a bunch of okay.
And that's kind of how the.
This is not how I thought.
But I
So
mean,
for the people who stopped listening in the beginning of this podcast, you missed a lot.
yeah. And then then somehow it turns into like he's like, oh yeah, just like something like broke on me. I don't know, like he has some really realization of like
Oh shit, it's the alcohol.
yeah, it's like the drugs, everything. Like I kind of like I did what I wanted to do, or I don't know.
I'm done, right?
Yeah, kind of like I'm done. I've
Exhausted
hit
or
rock bottom. Like
uh-huh.
just gonna.
So
Oh yeah, he said like then when he found out about Buddhism, like okay, I can separate my. The whole point about Buddhism is like you separate from your physical self, and it's all about the spirit, right?
uh-huh.
So he's like, yeah, then that kind of saved me. Like I'm fine, not doing the drugs and everything.
What about the lady penises? Or is that still there, or that was just kind of went away with the
No,
alcohol?
now that he's a Buddhist, he's
Oh, it's
celibate.
not. I see.
So there's no.
That was. You could have just said like, "I'm Buddhist, so I don't drink anymore." That would have done it.
But like that's the kind of the theme of this
What
White
is
Lotus
the
kind.
thing?
That's I mean kind of things like that, like
Lady
something.
penis?
No, but like some
Okay, I
people.
have a question. Do ladies with penises have a sperm?
No, you
Why?
mean like when like trans?
No, no. Like those kind that they are ladies, but they have penis.
But they're not really ladies.
No, no, they are. Some of them
Oh,
are.
you mean like real, like not real, but like
Like they have a
that they
women.
were like
They have
genetically.
boobs, they have like a female body look, like they have the curves and
Oh, I
everything, and
don't
look,
know.
and then they have penis.
They probably do
So they
because
have.
their sexual organs develop as a male, not as a female, right?
What does it mean that you? Is it just the outside or inside? Now I'm just really
Oh, I
curious.
don't know. Oh,
Look it up. Put it in the comments.
if you know, put it what comments. Where is this gonna go? Spotify?
Explicit. Okay,
Because
this
unless it
is
goes
my
into
personal phone, not the work phone. Um, and I'm not on Wi-Fi. Okay. Uh, do female people
female people.
who have, who are born with penis
Like
produce semen? Intersex. In cases where a person is assigned female at birth. Okay, there's a Wikipedia page called intersex. Intersex people are people born with any of several sex characteristics, including chromosome patterns, gonads, genitals, that according to the Office of the United Nations, high blah 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 blah, do not fit typical binary nations of male or female bodies. Sex assignment at birth usually aligns with the child's external genitalia. The number of births with ambiguous genitals is in the range of 0.02% to 0.05%. Other conditions involve the development of atypical chromosomes, gonads, hormones. Some persons may be assigned and raised as a girl or boy, but then identify with another gender later in life, while most continue to identify with their assigned sex. The number of births where the baby is intersex has been reported differently depending on. Okay, you're not answering my question. Terms used to blah blah blah.
I think there's like an actual name,
Mm,
like an
biology.
Aphrodite.
Although hermaphrodite is the
Yeah,
opposite,
hermaphrodite.
and intersex have been used synonymously in humans. A hermaphrodite is specifically an individual capable of producing female and male gametes. Um, okay, I still don't know my answer though. Okay, can an intersex woman, i.e., genetic female with male parts, ejaculate semen and impregnate someone? It's an Quora. I don't know how right that is. It says, no, I don't think that's possible. You're confusing intersex with transgender. Those who are intersex are essentially people either born with an underground chromosome. It can be okay. So
I think it
it really
depends.
depends. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Exactly. Depends on the situation. That would be cool, right?
Well, it says that
Do we
in
have people that they have both?
well, yes, in other hermaphrodites, the gonads have both ovum and producing and sperm producing areas, but one or the other predominates during different phases. So as they grow, I think it could change.
Like for example, when you hit
Puberty.
puberty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting and
So
confusing
I know, right?
because like
I mean, there's a very small percentage of the population.
right.
So
But I know from movies, that's not super good reference, but from movies that Bangkok in Thailand is like famous for ladies with penises.
Yeah, but
No,
that
they're not
no,
transgenders.
no, no. But th that really is a boy that went surgery to
Oh,
look.
it's boobs.
Yes, you can have boobs as a boy.
But like everything in their body looks like that. Oh, really?
Is
So it's a thing?
yeah, it's a
Why is
thing.
it there
Look, let
so
me look it
much?
up because I'm pretty sure the
So
really
you said like they're transgender then, actually. But they keep their penis.
yes.
Okay. There's this long time ago, when I was doing my master's, there was this place I would go for my hair. I used to do keratin treatment.
Mm-hmm.
It was very long and really expensive, but in that weather, my hair was extremely frizzy, so that would make it heavy and nice. So this lady was the stereotypical hairdresser that just talks to
Mm-hmm.
you about their own life, about the life of everybody else that they've been under their hand. So one case that she was telling me about that like it's been her long time customer, so she knew about her life that her she was this lady with two children and her husband decides that she is a woman. So and she or I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
the husband wanted to have look like a woman, so in terms of makeup and everything, but they loved their wife and they did not want to go away. They just want me this, I love you and this and all, and I'm going to keep my penis.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to look like a woman. And they were considering getting a surgery to get boobs.
Mm-hmm.
And like she was telling me like how I just keep thinking about what would I've done if I were in that situation. Because yeah, sure you love somebody, but it is still what you see
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. It's not just the penis. And and then but she was saying like how like the lady like just decided to support her husband, but their biggest struggle was the kids. Like
Yeah.
how are you, what are you, what's going
What are you?
on? Yeah.
Well, how old were the kids? I guess.
She gave me the impression they were like not babies,
Mm-hmm.
but they weren't like teenagers either.
Yeah, that could be hard.
That's
I think that's what happened in that documentary with like that funny guy that uh, with that plays Elf. What's his name?
Will Smith.
No, not Will Smith.
Why did I say Will Ferrell?
Yeah, that's like not even the same race.
My
Yeah,
brain
Will
just
Ferrell did
okay.
like a documentary with somebody, like one of his old friends who was becoming like a trans woman,
Uh-huh.
and I think also they were having trouble. Like their kids were like teenager or like
Mm-hmm.
early 20s, and I think they were doing okay. But that was like, well, yeah, at that point it's different than having like a middle schooler or something. So I don't know. I don't know how they
It's
take it.
tricky. It's really tricky. And I really think, while I really hope that I never be in that situation because I really cannot imagine how to deal with it, but I think the people, considering all these complications, they are so brave and go with it and do
Mhm.
it. Damn. That's like super admirable.
I know because I'm like
Even though if it's like, let's say, I don't know, they're not sure and they might just go back, but still like having the courage to
to go
do
through
something
it.
like
Yeah.
that you're outside. I cannot cut my hair as much as I want to, and then these people will be like full on change everything.
Changing everything, right? Yeah, that's when like, yo, okay, they must want it so bad, or like
Yeah.
they really cannot live with themselves the way they are.
But it's still a lot of
But
people don't though. They just
yeah,
don't live with themselves. They just kill themselves.
well, yeah, that's the other
So
sad part.
that's really, really awesome that anybody does gather that courage.
Hmm.
It's funny, like the entire time we're having this conversation in the back of my brain, I'm still thinking what was it that you were going to say, and I stopped you before saying it, and it's just really eating me up.
I know that I can remember now. We were talking about What were we talking about
Scrubs?
before?
Like we were talking about Scrubs.
Yeah, but there was something else.
Um,
Um, we were talking about Scrubs, and I was like, okay, but
then we were talking about podcast and what we're gonna say, what we're not gonna say.
no, but it was. And they had to do something. Oh, I was gonna make like a comparison or something. They're like, oh, yeah, isn't it interesting that this? But I don't remember
Ah,
now.
damn it.
Dang, what was it?
Yeah, I don't know. I just kept going back in my brain to see if I can remember it. Okay, meanwhile, I tell you that I haven't started any shows or anything not new at all. And so if anytime I had to watch something, I watched House.
House.
Uh,
How many seasons are there?
I think good number, and that just comforts me. I
Mm.
generally like the idea of watching a show that is completed
Mm-hmm.
because it bothers me so much that like you're expecting another season and it doesn't come out, they stop or whatever. This I like, okay, this is what it is. The other day I had a dream that they're starting a new season. I'm like,
You're
yeah.
like, wow.
But no, and I'm really savoring it. Because every episode is about 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot afford to binge watch it, even though I really
Mm-hmm.
want to. But it's so complete, it's so full, and it's such a roller coaster of emotions that sometimes I was just like, okay, well, I just really need to pause. But I'm still in season two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, I have a lot.
Yeah, you have a lot to
Yeah,
go to watch.
but I love it so much. There's so many things in the mid-co part that bothers me, but I am like, I'd be like, ah, damn it, it's like, just why did you do that? So stupid. I'd be like, okay, okay, I give you a pass. Let's just go with the show. It's
So you need
ridiculous.
to watch.
Grey's Anatomy.
No, no. I mean, yes, you
I
can.
don't
Like
want to.
the early seasons are good.
I did watch a few. It just the amount of drama, their interpersonal drama, I don't like that. I just get annoyed. Because I feel I like House a lot because I feel it just says, do you like medical stuff or not? We give you some here and there drama, but the whole thing with the detail of biology and all that and these things, it's just about this. But Greg's Anatomy, from the few episodes that I watched, it was just like a sitcom that's happening to us in this hospital.
Yeah.
Do you know which show is been the most accurate? Because I know that there was a analysis one time, like a few doctors, there was like a YouTube channel or whatever that they went through of all these famous movies or TV series about doctors and
Mm-hmm.
hospitals, and then like identifying which one of them is closest to reality of a hospital in terms of following the rules the same way that it's
Uh,
happening instead of just like for example house going running an MRI. Run the
mm.
MRI CT and do lumbar puncture and then run cell cultures.
I think the good doctor does a good job because they
The
don't. They actually
the
they
new one.
yeah, the one where like the doctor is
Skinny,
autistic. Yeah,
skinny, skinny.
but because they're not running scans, but they can see that there are text
I've
doing
heard
things. Right?
Screw was very accurate.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. That one was pretty famous too, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Back in the day.
I've seen like a couple episodes again because the beginning of it was very much just starting like these two, a boy and a girl, like having crush on each other or like
Hmm.
liking it. So I was like, I'm not. This is not. I will watch something that is meant to be this. Um, but House, like something that I really like about House that his character, of course there are things coming around that oh girls like him or he likes his ex girlfriend or whatever, but still they're keeping him away from
Mm.
a plus character, so he just stays the god of the show because he is unreal. Like yeah, there would be, I mean, if anybody out there that is like this guy, like they are this is smart, still emotionally very intelligent and so funny and pretty attractive. Like in terms of like being lean and having like piercing, god good looking eyes.
Okay.
It's getting really hard. But I'm like saying this is the character. Like his eyes, like they have done, I don't know, makeup and the lighting is always in a way that you just be like, okay, you got me. And he's tall and he's always dressed up
Doesn't
in
he
like this.
wear use a cane?
Yes, yeah.
Really?
But that's his like, thing.
Mm-hmm.
And his disease or whatever. But he always has this like kind of sexy 5 o'clock shadow, like even though he's messy and his shirt is always like wrinkly, but there's this cuteness, charm to him with his sneakers and all that. And then he's extremely smart. He's funny. All of his friends love him so much while he gives them so much shit. But he's always at the end is for them and does like this thing that makes your heart melt. There's no such a thing.
Yeah.
There's nobody like this. Um, and I like that they keep him unreal because nobody else would be. And then making him like have a girlfriend or something. Hopefully next seasons don't happen. You make him like it makes him. What's the opposite of invincible? Invincible?
Vulnerable or
Opposite of invincible.
mortal?
More, yeah, something.
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then yeah, just love it so much. The episodes that they have involved with kids are really rough because something in you think like this is not right, but you know that this is happening out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just so sad. Have you seen it?
Mm-mm. I think I've seen some episodes, but I think when I tried to watch it, it still looked really old school to me.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, nah. Because even now, I feel like I don't have the same hobbies as I did like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like things that used to keep my attention don't keep it anymore. So I have to be very picky about what I watch,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
People with
Hmm? What?
just, I mean, can sing the walkthrough you gave us with the episode. Very
I know, yeah, very big.
picky.
I mean, this one you should watch the second season. That one was very interesting. Uh, but what was I gonna say? Oh, but my guilty pleasure kind of shows are like those reality shows, like Love Is Blind. Have you
The
seen that one?
trash TV.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
trash
call trap.
TV.
I haven't seen them, no, but that's my hotel trash TV. Things.
Well, that's the one that I want to watch. I mean, the new season came out the other day, or like
So which one is Love Is Blind? Oh, is the one that from overseas?
no, it's the one where like you go into these pods and they have like I don't know, 20 females, 20 males, and then you go on dates, but you don't see each other. That's what love is. You never get to see the person you're talking to. And
So you're not going with dates. So
no,
you're
you're
just
going on
talking.
date like it's like this room, right? Like someone comes here, and you can hear them from the other side of the wall, and you start
Okay.
talking
Okay.
without seeing them ever. And the whole thing is like at some point
And
the
then they
guy's gonna
also wait
propose.
and then propose without seeing it?
Yeah.
What they're ugly.
Well, love is blind, right?
Okay, but are they all of them picked kind of like good
Yeah.
looking people?
I mean, obviously the show is like
What if somebody just
I'm
like
pretty sure they have some like psychological evaluation. Like, yeah, these people are like almost normal, but also like on the borderline kind of crazy, and they're good looking. Yeah, they go on the show.
yeah, who would go on a show like that? The shows that I actually like this thing that I watched one season of Bachelor and one season of Bachelor to
I told me
in
that
my Americanizing process.
I haven't seen The Bachelor ever.
It's phenomenal. Like saying that this is actually happening and people are existing and living and
Well, yeah, here like they all live together. I think they overall they like date for 3 weeks, and then someone eventually the guy proposes to the girl, and they say yes or they say no, and then once they say yes, then they finally meet
is
each other.
always the guy supposed
Hmm.
to okay
I
can
mean, the girl can propose too, but usually it's the guy that always
uh-huh.
proposes, and then they finally do the reveal, and they meet each other. Some of those are really awkward. Like they're like you can tell right away that they were not expecting. We're expecting.
So
You're
they
like,
say yes and no before the reveal?
yeah,
Oh,
and then once
that
every
sucks.
And then once everybody, you get all the couples kind of thing, like everybody kind of, if you like, obviously they even break up with each other before they, and they will know like they're like, oh yeah, I'm talking to another person, and they're like, they're my number one, or they're my number, but you're also my number one, and I'm just having a hard time.
So now you see this and you find like when you watch Bachelor or like or Bachelorette. I mean, I think the either of them are weird in their own way, but imagine all these girls are here for one guy and they bond with each other and they become friends with each other and it's like I'm here for world love and they talk and bond over that like but you're going for one guy. And I kept thinking like if this was the first season, so these people haven't seen the previous one, I would like think like okay, that makes sense. But every year these people go on these shows while they know what this is. And at the end the same thing, I guess. And the guy who is the moderator or whatever, who is like one of the first bachelors of the show. And then he does it for girls and boy. And then he says like it's happening, so I have practice. It's not natural. I and there's money in it, and these girls
Oh, there's
fight
no
and
more in
boys
this.
fight, like hit each other, and then
Oh,
oh
dang,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, because some people get aggressive, and then and they're living in the same building. Of course,
Hmm.
there's just so much
Yeah,
extra
in this one they're
friction.
living. All the girls are living together, and all the guys are living together, but they never see each other
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and then so let's say like there's someone has, oh yeah, I had two number ones, and then they finally come to the date and like, yeah, I decided to go with the other person.
In the Bachelor Bachelorette at the end, toward the end, that you have like
Oh, you had to
two
pick, right?
people, right? You get to sleep with both of them.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no.
And then the other person gets so mad that you slept with the other one and still they forgive him if they just choose you. I don't know, it's just so crazy. Like they call it like private session or something. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
And then he just says like, "Oh, and I love you." Most of the girls don't sleep with the guy till he says "I love you,"
Mhm.
and then well, he did it. The craziest thing was so I watched two consecutive seasons. So I watched one Bachelor and then one Bachelorette, and then or the other way. So then I heard that two of the girls that they were on the Bachelor
Mhm.
are chosen to be the next Bachelorette, right?
Mhm.
And then these girls were the ones that they're like, yeah, he's told us I love you to both, and they got like super offended and like they had to, guess what?
They're gonna be.
When they were, I followed the
Oh,
thing.
okay.
When she became Bachelorette, she said I love you too, and she was crying like I love both of them.
Mm.
Of course. If I were in a situation like that, that they're like these attractive guys that I have filtered through, and there's like, I don't know, three of them, probably like the reason I chose each of them because each of them will have something very interesting. They show me like exciting things, they fun, they think, and I can literally fall in love with every single of them. We are capable of loving people. That's why commitment. That's why you
Mhm.
have to be married, and then you cheat if you do with something else. And then you're just setting this whole thing up. Of course you're gonna fail if that's a
Yeah.
so yeah,
I'm.
just that's such a phenomenon.
Yeah, but I just
And then
find it
there's
really
Golden
fun.
Bachelor too.
Would that mean like
For
older
older
people?
people.
Oh.
Golden Bachelor and Golden Bachelor.
They had Love Is Blind. They have like UK version. They had a Mexico version, and then the US. That's what started it all, right? Obviously.
Interesting.
But yeah, then if you break up with one of them, they just leave, and then they're like. But it's like funny how they're like, I just, I don't care what they look like, I'm in love with them, or something like that. Like that's how when they're behind the camera, they're talking to the camera,
I
like.
mean, it happens in the virtual things, right? Like internet things. They
I mean, but yeah,
you
but you
sleep
see
with them, but
something.
it's so still different.
Yeah, but
Better
this,
than this.
yeah, but this like no idea, and then it could be like you can
Would
right away tell. Like this girl
would
was
people
just saying
ask
like,
each other
thank you,
how you look
thank you.
like?
No, you're not supposed to.
How tall
But
you
this guy, there was one season where this guy, everybody hated this guy because he always asked questions to like get a gauge of like
what do
how
you
physical.
bra
He will
size?
be like, so like when you go to concerts, like what do you like to do? He, oh, I like to be like, uh, what did she said something like I like to be like carrying like he's oh no I like to put somebody on my shoulders, and then he's like, oh, so would I have trouble putting you on my shoulders?
Huh?
like, would I have trouble putting you on my shoulders?
Well, it depends if you're strong or not.
No, but he
Are you in
wanted.
the military?
No, but he will ask things like that, or like something about tanning, or like things like that, or like hair.
Crazy.
Yeah, or like hair
How
wise.
are you? How much of your eye is
I mean,
exposed?
some of them are obviously very clear on their voice and like how they speak, whether what race they might be.
It's like when first time after a few years I saw a music video of Nickelback. I was
Mhm.
so shocked when I saw the guy. I was like, this is the guy? I could have never pictured him to look like that. He has a very raspy voice.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a skinny white guy with like goatee and like curly. I was
You're like, what's
like,
this?
what's this?
There's
Or
one that
there
was.
was another thing like they were like, oh, Beyonce is black. Remember this whole thing?
Hmm.
On it.
Oh yeah, and
Beyonce
then
is
like,
black.
what? She's black. There was one girl. They're like, oh yeah, I've been told I look like Megan Fox, and then she did not look like Megan Fox at all. And the guy goes like, he got so excited,
Yeah,
and then when he saw her, he was like,
immediately.
immediately like, no, you do not look like this person. And there's another one.
But
There's a lot, like
there's
a lot of things like
something
that.
about these shows, the fact that nothing really matters and you get to be judgmental as hell and you
Mhm.
don't feel bad because I mean guys are calling for it.
But it's funny because a lot of times, like after they have like a reunion, like a year after, right? So so they all get engaged, then they go on a vacation together to some
Do
island.
they say statistically how many of them
I mean,
stay married?
yeah, I mean, from the first season, I think there's like two couples that stay married, and they even had kids now. So, and there have been seasons where like nobody gets together, like they just nobody pair up with anybody, and then there are seasons where like they pair up with somebody, they break up, and then they go with
Oh, to
like
another
they know
person.
each other, but like they go with and they start dating somehow. Uh,
Mhm.
some of them like lie, like this. I think there was a guy that was fully engaged before he went to the show, and he like he just lied. And then some people like don't like what they did before, or like ended up like not liking like what they did.
What are the jobs of these people?
Some of them are like teachers, they're
So
like
are they holding
accountants.
their daily job and come here at night, or how does this work?
After, I mean, they're only out in the pods for like 2 or 3 weeks, so they usually just take off work.
That's how like a bachelor is. Like imagine, like that's another thing I was constantly thinking. Like if this was me, so I'll be telling my colleagues that, oh my God, I have been chosen to go on Bachelor, and then everybody knows I'm there, and during this time you're not supposed to have your phones and all.
Yeah, yeah, they have the same thing.
And there's an episode like if you get far enough and keep getting roses, you bring this guy or girl to your family.
Yeah, you after they get engaged in this and they come back from their vacation, then you're supposed to introduce them to
Well,
their
that's
family.
much better than, hey, yeah, me and like a few other girls are trying to get this guy, and I'm bringing him home.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the
a lot
father's
better.
supposed to sit down, like just take seriously, like, yeah, it's this guy, and the guy, like, the day after is gonna go to somebody else's home and somebody else's home, and then the girl just like gets so emotional, like, oh yeah, I think he really bonded with my family. How are you just going home thinking like, yeah, he's mine?
I
That
know,
just
right?
goes against nature. We're not designed that way.
Well, yeah, that's kind of it goes. And then after they do all these interactions, what I don't like is that then they had the wedding, right? They're supposed to get married. That's the very last thing that they're supposed to do. And then they're like, so now we'll find out if love is truly blind or you will walk away forever.
Oh,
So,
they give them that. They
yes,
just put it in their
they
brain.
just put in the.
So how long is between saying yes and getting married?
I think it's 3 weeks, 3 or 4. But yeah, they had the whole party. Everybody's dressed and like the as a wife, husband, and then they sit
Is
there.
it all together the same day?
No, no, no. I don't know if it's the same day, but they're all separate weddings,
Okay.
right? And then yeah, they say their
How many of them
vows.
go
They say like what they like about each other, and then they finally ask the question, and I'm like, you didn't know before this. People will say no. They're like, I just can't do it, and it's like, so why don't you say that like before all this? Like, Why you get a wedding dress?
I think a good part of these shows participants now are people who have like established social media base,
Mhm.
and now they're going.
Yeah, like this last one, people were on TikTok before, or like, and then like somebody was going on TikTok saying like, "Oh yeah, like he's this type of guy and all this thing, all this like she's this type of girl, like she was seeing me before I like the weekend before she won the show, we were sleeping together." And then the guy was like, "Well, I just cannot understand that. Like, I don't understand how you're ready for marriage if you were like sleeping around before coming to this show." And he was so prideful. Like I think it was just hurting his ego. And somehow the guy that she was seeing knew this other guy. Like somehow they were connected
Okay,
because they all come from the same city. That's the thing. So, so like yeah, this last time was all
how
like
big
based on
is the
Nashville.
city? Oh, Nashville.
Yeah,
But
and
it's
then before
still,
that was like
it's kind
Minneapolis.
of people that they probably have similar friends that they're
Yeah.
gonna do. No offense, but yeah. Interesting, interesting.
I
But
think
yeah,
you will
that's
like it if you watch it. You'll be like, "What?"
so that's the thing. I take joy into this, but I in my normal routine life, I get so guilty that I put my time into something that at the end of it I gained zero, because
Mm,
it's not that, oh, I watched like a drama so I learn a life skill or something. None of these things could ever happen in real setting, life setting. Nobody acts like this because
yeah,
it's not
but
in a imaginary setting. That's why I like them in my, that's hotel trash TV time, because I'm in a hotel, and the good thing is that you don't need back up a story about this. You're just like, okay, I get to catch up wherever this is going. And if
I
the
know. But what can you apply? It's just like relaxing time, kind of.
yeah, I agree, but have you met me? I cannot.
I know, but how come you can only apply for the hotel vibe, but not like daily
Because in the
routine?
hotel situation, I am already out of my routine, and like I technically, for example, I've done so much during the day, like in a conference or whatever, and then now I'm in a hotel and I'm just trying to fall asleep. I don't have my desk, I don't have my things,
Mm,
just everything is out, so I might just watch this. Um, and how often do I, and also I guess something in my guilt helps more that it's not every day, it's like once,
mm.
twice in a year.
See, I think I go through like seasons. So like I will go, I don't know, few months where like all I do is like the same thing every single day.
And speaking of that, watching House is a practice I'm doing, that I am training myself to just watch House and do nothing and not feel guilty about
Hmm.
it. Because I have like, I really have like, for example, things are done. Now I'm like, okay, it's my night. And I'd be like, okay, what should I do? All these things rumbles through my brain, and I have to do this and I have to do this and do this. And if I don't do it, I feel guilty. If I go to sleep, I feel like, so I have to wake up at 3 a.m. to make up for the time that I did.
Hmm.
But now I'm just like, okay, I watch an episode of House, mindful. It's one episode, it's an hour, and I'm just gonna, this is my relaxing. But the show is so educational, like in terms of real medical thing, the words they use, the environment, everything. And also somehow I feel I'm learning a lot about the dynamic of the hospital,
Hmm.
because I think it's very close to reality. Not the job roles that this doctor goes, does MRI and then comes and does cell culture and then goes
Hmm.
and do a surgery the same day. Uh, but the hierarchy of things work and how real, like the power games and all that. But
Hmm.
mostly the academic part of it and the feeling of it. It's like a, for me, it's like a detective show, but in
Hmm.
medical thing. Really like that, and it's diagnostic. So I really like it. And I feel like somehow I'm doing something useful.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I have a problem for sure. I have a problem. That's why I really need to have. It's one of my things this year that I need to have mindful hobbies, but I have
Mhm.
to choose the ones that are fulfilling to me. Like I was telling you, these 100 things like this that we're doing. This is fulfilling. So at the end of it, I don't feel like, oh, I was, like one of the faculty says, shooting breeze. I was actually doing something that it makes me feel fulfilled. That I was talking with my friend and we produced something that is just for our stuff,
Yeah.
keepsake,
Yeah.
whatever. Um, and but while I'm actually relaxing and letting
Hmm.
my brain do this.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what I have. I had like sprints and then okay, I need to slow down.
mhm.
And then I don't feel like okay, this is my recovery
Yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah. That's
Okay.
that's healthy. I think
Yeah.
you're completely healthy.
But I can remember that always happened even in grad school. Like I will every time the semester ended, there will be like a week where like I was just like,
Reset.
yeah, resetting. Like no, like
Shooting breeze.
waking up whatever time I want, watching shows, playing video games, whatever, and not even look at my computer, and it was fine.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very healing. And I think probably all this anxiety and all that we're getting as time is progressing, because we work so much, value is in work, value is in money and status, that we will be people like me that just they forget that my brain, like a phone, needs an upgrade, needs a reset, needs a shutdown sometimes. Uh, and then while my efficiency goes lower, we don't go like walk just for the sake of just walk. We go for the steps, you know. We don't go look at the sunrise. We go for hikes because that's just, I'm a life of stuff happens, which is fine. But you know, it just seems like we still want badges. We still want activities. It's not just like we're just gonna do nothing. That's like, ooh, lazy.
I know. That's why we competing at the gym. This morning I was like, how are they doing this so fast? But it's because they were using lighter weights.
Did you tell them about cows?
Who? House?
Cows.
Cows?
Cow of the month.
No.
Well,
I wonder how they're gonna announce it.
tell them what's the context of the cow of the month.
Oh, because in the gym that I go to, usually I think they call it herd of bulls or something. I don't know. But
you looked it up. It was saying cow.
no, I mean, yeah, cow is supposed to be the opposite.
Yeah, so okay. He sent me a screenshot of him being spotlighted as the bull of the month. So for being so strong, doing so great, did like attended all the classes and all that. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. What would they call it if it were a female? Would they call it a cow of the month? And he looked it up and they call it cow of the month. And like
No, I
no, you did. It's cow. You looked.
No, I looked it up. What it was, if there was a different name for bull, like the opposite of bull, like
Oh, is that what you looked up? I
yeah.
thought you looked at the
No,
Instagram
no.
account. I was like, oh yes, they call it
No,
cow of the month.
they just said member of the month.
That just sounds discrimination.
That cannot be. Can I call it cow of the month?
I know you cannot. I thought, damn it. I
No.
thought, oh my god, it's a cow. I thought you'd like mention on Instagram.
I thought there was a different word for like
Oh,
the
no,
female version of a
no,
bull.
it's a cow.
Yeah, I was like, no, it's a cow. And they can, or they say cow.
Member of the month sounds like they were
And they
down
cannot call it a cowgirl because that's different.
Yeah, cowgirl is a person in charge of the cows. It's
Yeah.
not a cow. Cow of the month is lazy bitches.
No.
Not working out.
I mean, I thought the new hoops were kind of funny too.
That's still like because Texas and all that makes sense, but the whole bull of.
Bull.
But when you call somebody a member of the month, that makes me feel like they did clean the restrooms very well.
But it's not a restaurant. That will be like employee of the month.
Right. But the other option is bull of the month and member of the month.
Well, maybe they need to think that through more.
Yes, I need to tell them that my friend has feedback.
I mean, I wanted to ask my friend that kind of does that. And like, so what about a girl? You gonna call her cow?
Little lamb.
Little lamb. But
Dragon of the month. That would be good. But dragons don't have hooves.
no, they have claws.
Claws.
New claws.
What other
Fresh
of the month?
No.
What is like a female animal that is just nothing? Really, female animals
I
are
mean,
just
gazelle and those.
gazelle of the month.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow gazelle is not a like an icon of a strength, it's an icon of beauty.
Jaguar.
Huh?
Cougar.
Oh my god.
Cougar of the month.
Cougars don't have hooves, but yes, it's funny like how like all the female animals, if we assign them to people, are as sign of negativity.
I know it's like negative, right? Dove. Dove. That also sounds very like.
Nobody says, "Oh, you're like a dove."
Yes, I do.
Oh, like darling
Yeah, or like, you know.
is
Ah,
a dove. But that's not as strong. Like tell me a animal that is a female animal that is a strong.
I was gonna say, well, that's worse than cow, I think.
Whale?
Eagle? Owl? No.
No, but they don't have the femininity. Like a bull has a huge penis right there.
No.
That's what's a guy.
That's if it's a stud, right?
No.
Well, I mean, no, I
I
guess in
mean, you're
general.
saying a bull doesn't have
What
penis.
about the cat, the horses?
Okay.
What's the female for?
I don't think they have different names.
No, they do.
Mm,
Spanish, you do.
they do? What
Yeah,
is it?
I don't remember, but
Intermediate express?
uh,
But yeah, let's see. Um, let's see if it's
a mare.
mare.
Mm-hmm. See,
Okay.
a stallion is a male
A
horse,
stallion is a male horse.
and a
You're right.
mare is an adult female horse. Typically refers to a horse over the age of 3.
What is it?
A
Okay.
mare.
Mare is a horse of age of 3.
No, it's a female horse over the age of 3.
See, oh yeah, in Farsi there is actually Madian and Narian, which is like literally means female and male, but in a specific kind of word.
But even then, I was like mare of the month doesn't flow as stallion of the
No,
month.
like that's what I'm trying to say. Like the icon ways, there's no icon for a female
No.
animal. Chicken.
I mean, the only thing is like Amazonian,
chicken is the big
like Wonder
name.
Woman, where they're called like Amazonians or something. That's the only thing I can think of.
They're not animals.
I know they're not animals, but are we animals?
Are you saying? No, but seriously.
I'm gonna say strong female animal. Hyenas. Orcas. Bees. Ants. What about bald eagle? That's the a lion. Oh, a lioness.
A lioness.
Yeah, that one is good.
Fierce.
Yeah, that was the first one that showed up.
I'm kind of curious to know what's specific about it. So good, make my stomach. Yeah, lioness. I
Yeah,
think
lioness.
lioness is like fierce, strong, takes care of things. Okay, that's like one thing. And gazelle is a female thing, but it's not a strong thing. The only one is lioness.
No, it's more like majestic.
Majestic. Yeah, that's a good word. Okay, what's up with the female hyenas?
I don't know, but that's the first one. Look, girl power, nine badass females in the animal kingdom. Let me see. Octopi, female lions. Where's the rest?
Animal. What?
Bonobos.
It's a monkey.
Bonobos are sexually liberated. What?
Sorry, what? What is a bonobo? Is a monkey?
I think so. Let me see.
They're sexually liberated?
Look, female
They do
bonobos are also
themselves?
quite sexually liberated, as bonobos are one of the few species
That they do
that
themselves?
engage in sex for non-reproductive reasons.
Good for them. That's what they're
That's
liberating.
penguins. Dolphins do that too.
Yeah, what are the male ones or female?
But I guess.
I think the dolphins take pleasure.
Yeah.
I don't do it just for pleasure.
No. Oh,
I think
I
so.
thought that's what it.
Or maybe I'm not sure. Let's go. Okay, who wrote that list? Gear power of sexually liberated animals?
Yeah, it says 9
We're
badass.
talking about the strong.
This is from the dodo. Is that like a satire thing?
Sorry?
This? Isn't that like satire?
What's satire mean?
Like it's fake, it's not real.
Yeah,
Like that,
yeah, yeah.
like the green onion or something like that.
I think dodo. No, actually, dodo is good for animals. It's like
Oh.
an animal thing.
Okay.
I don't know about the octopus either. Like for example, lioness is like commonly
Oh
known
my
thing.
god.
What?
For octopus, it is not uncommon for a female octopus to strangle her mate once the deed is done.
Who wrote this list? They were very sexually frustrated.
Damn, there were actually.
Is strangled to death
I
or
mean,
just
in animals, the female is usually bigger than the male.
okay?
Like, have you seen those birds? Like those Netflix documentaries where like the bird is put in the whole show to like
Those are men.
yeah, but the female is always bigger.
They're like less prominent. I don't know about their sizes. I'm not sure.
I've never seen like
But I feel
you
like
will think it's the
big.
other opposite.
No, like they're pretty. The male are pretty. The female are not. Like just normal looking.
Oh, okay.
But I think the sizes male probably are bigger just for the dominance and fighting purposes. What's up with the octopus? Oh, okay. So the reason they're cool is because they strangle. Probably is a spider thing is there too. So just kill
I
their
didn't see
husband.
spider. It's octopus, the lioness, and this bonobos.
Can I see bonobos?
I mean, I don't know. They don't show the picture.
That's bonobos, sexually liberated.
And
They
then
copulate with multiple partners of both
mhm.
genders. Okay,
Barbary
Barbary,
macaque.
fake
Like,
it.
oh my god,
Fake female Barbary, what is that?
these are monkeys.
Are extremely vocal during copulation.
For
That is
surprising reason.
interesting. They are looking to attract other males to mate with. So if they're quiet, they're happy. By copulating with multiple males, the lady decreases the likelihood of paternal infanticide, as the males cannot tell which babies are theirs. What is going on?
They're there.
Those are the bombos?
No, the macaque is whatever.
Okay.
I've seen this. I don't know what how the actual pronunciation.
Komodo
Komodo
dragon.
dragons.
RNDEPNDT. These liberated lizards literally do not need a mate to procreate. There have been several recorded cases where female Komodo dragons have reproduced without mating. It's all about sex. What about lioness? Was that also sexual?
No, let me see. What does this say?
Bringing home the bacon. Do not majority of hunting, as they much more adapt to hunting than
Oh,
males. Occasionally
they
give
just take
measure
over.
bounty with the males. They
They-
typically happens.
They're like, yeah, we got this.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, that was interesting. Okay, 3 more minutes. Let's just wrap this up.
Yes.
We need to
Okay, we
skedaddle.
need to skedaddle.
All right. That was interesting.
Yeah, we took a lot of turns. So, we probably had to edit some of this. We'll see.
You're gonna mark it as explicit or whatever.
I remember I take out the first part.
Huh?
With the White Lotus discussion.
I wish we recorded my face during that. I was like, okay.
There's a bunch of memes about that, like how the guy is looking at the other guy.
Oh yeah.
Like, and he's like, and he's like,
Oh.
I don't know. And he's like, yeah, I mean,
Would you walk with me to the other building? I didn't bring my
Yeah.
stuff.
I have my stuff right here. But
Okay.
okay, we'll see how this works out.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you for the ones that they
thank you
didn't.
for tuning in. If you like our discussion,
Click subscribe down below.
smash that subscribe button.
Smash it. Smash it like a baboon. Baboon, baboon, boy?
Bonobo?
Bonobo.
Like you're a bonobo in the wild. Liberated.
Jesus. Okay, bye.
Bye bye.